करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुस्य सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविडं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव त्वमेव सर्वं गुरुदेव देव. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadasi, the 15th chapter, the last chapter of Vidyaranya Swami, and we are at the sloka of 20-21, where we are talking about the pure consciousness Satchidananda. How does it express in different ways? Because it says, according to scriptures, he himself became many. Tadaikshata bausyam praja eti. So he himself became many. That means same Satchidananda, Brahman, appears as many. Why do you say it appears? It appears because it is of the nature of a transformationless transformation. It's called vivarta. It's not like a parinama where a milk transforming into curds, where it's a destructive transformation. Milk gets destroyed and curds forming. That's called parinama. Whereas the vivarta is like a gold appearing as ornaments. This the scripture provides. Yada saumya ekena lohamanina sarvam lohamayam vijnata vacharambaram vikaro namadheyam loham iti eva satyam. So loham iti eva, the gold alone is real. What's real? Because that which was before and that which is now and that which will be later is alone real. Trikala abhaditam satyam. Whereas the ornaments come and go. The ring came, ring became a bangle, bangle became a necklace, and so on. The transformation of a ring into bangle is a destructive transformation. Means ring get destroyed to form a bangle. That is parinama, whereas the vivarta is gold in the ring is the same as gold in the bangle. Gold itself does not undergo any transformation, while it appears before as a ring, now appearing as a bangle. So the nama rupa, the names and forms as though, quote unquote, superimposed on top of gold. This is a worldly example that scripture provides to show that it is of the same type, where Brahman, being infinite, cannot undergo a transformation. So it appears to be the world of different types, because the ring is different from a bangle, bangle is different from a necklace. The attributes of the ring, the attributes of the bangle, and attributes of the necklace are completely different. But yet it is all nothing but gold. Gold attributes does not change. What are gold attributes? It's the gold color, gold, the properties of the gold. If you do chemical analysis or spectrochemical analysis, you only see the gold properties. There is no ring properties there. Ring properties are its ID, OD, means the internal diameter, outside diameter, shape, its utility, transactability. All those things are applied to only the nama rupatmakam, that is names and forms, and that is Jagat itself. The world itself is nothing but the names and forms assembled together, varieties and names and forms continuously changing. And that is the nature of the world. So the same pure Satchidananda expressing itself according to the reflecting media, it expresses both only Sat aspect, or both Sat and Chit aspect, and or both Sat and Chit and Ananda aspects. Not both, all the three aspects are expressed. And here we say that the Mutshiladishu, Mut Sila Adishu, in the case of mud and a stone, etc., only Sat aspect is expressed. So Mutshiladishu Sattaiva Vyajati, na itaradvayam, and not the any other. Whereas in the case of the thought process, that is the subtle material, thought is considered as a subtle. So if you ask what is a thought, it's a very interesting question. So what is a thought? That itself is a topic. If you go to Google and ask what is a thought, and the philosopher Descartes says, I think therefore I am. Whereas I am is the conscious existence and thought is inert, but thought is the property of the mind. So mind has the capacity to think. So as long as mind is awake, in the waking stage and the dream state, thoughts will go on. Thoughts are related to objects, either external objects or internal objects. When I'm thinking of perceptual object, when I see a chair or a table or anything that I see in this world, a corresponding thought arises in the mind, and that thought is essentially is illumined by the light of consciousness for me to be conscious of the thought. So whenever you say I want this, so on, those are called rajasic thought according to the scripture here. So you have a sattvic thought, a rajasic thought, and a tamasic thought, and depending upon the nature of the thought, the pure only the existent consciousness are exhibited in the rajasic and tamasic, and that's what it says here. Satta chitirdvayam yukt vyaktam. Satta and chit, only two are expressed in the dhivruttayoho, in the thoughts of the mind, and both includes ghora modayoho, in the both the rajasic thoughts and tamasic thoughts, they exist. Thoughts are, when you say are, the existence sat aspect is there, and I am conscious of the thoughts, therefore chit aspect is there. So therefore both the existent part and the conscious part are expressed in the dhivrutti, in the ghora as well as the muda vruttayoho. And shanta vrutta trayam vyaktam. In the case of sattvic thoughts are essentially vairagyam, and here sukha, chaitanyam, all are indicator of the sattvic thoughts. Audaryam and kshama, etc. are sattvic thoughts, which Krishna calls them as daivi sampatti, in that not only the existence, not only the consciousness, but also ananda also gets reflected. So the question is, the Satchidananda is infinite, and which Vidyaranya calls it as Kutastha Chaitanyam, or the all-pervading original consciousness, that is Atma. Whereas the reflected consciousness, Chidabhasa, depends on the reflecting media, and depending on the purity of the mind, you get either the rajasic thoughts or the tamasic thoughts or the sattvic thoughts, and that's essentially the chitta suddhi is purification. And karma yoga, bhakti yoga, all yogas are meant for purification of the mind, and when the mind is purified, consciousness reflects. Now that mind which is purified has understood that which is getting reflected is the original consciousness through Vedanta, the Shravanam or Vichara. Then that mind understands that consciousness that I am exhibiting is coming from pure Satchidananda. So that is essentially becomes a jnanam in the mind. We'll do 22 now. Amisram jnana yogabhyam, amisram jnana yogabhyam, tauja purva mudaritau, adhyedhyaye yoga chinta, adhyedhyaye yoga chinta, jnanamadhyaya yordhayoho, jnanamadhyaya yordhayoho. Together. Amishram jnana yogabhyam, taujapurva mudaritau, adhyedhyaye yoga chinta, Jnanamadhyaya yordvayoho. So Amishram, that is Amishram means the unconditioned, not without any combinations. So that is unconditioned Brahman, that means pure Satchidananda. Jnana yoga abhyam, by the practice of Jnana yoga, that is what was discussed before. Tau, and by both these purvam, earlier, udiritam, Jnana and yoga abhyam is here, but Jnana, that is Brahmanande Vijnanandaha, that is in the last chapter 13, and Brahmanande Yoganandaha, that's in the previous chapter. So in the 13 and 14, also in the 11th chapter, are the Purva Adhyayo in the previous chapters, and earlier Udiritam has been discussed. So we already discussed that. Once we know this is the nature of the thoughts and nature of the reflections and Chidabhasa, and what exactly is that pure consciousness, how to inquire through Jnana Yoga or through the or Jnana or Yoga, that's what here differentiated. Jnana means by the Vedanta Jnanam, and Yoga means by meditation on the truths expounded in the Yoga. So by those two processes, so those two, Yoga Chinta, so inquiring about the Yoga Dvayoho, Adhyayo, in the previous chapters have been discussed. Udiritao, they have been already discussed. So here Vijnananya is referring back, once you realize that it is in the Sattvic, that is where the complete reflection of that Ananda is occurring. Now what exactly is that nature of that Brahman has to be known through either Jnana, through the process of Vedantic study, or Yoga Abhyam, after study meditation on the nature Aham Brahmasmi, and those two processes have been discussed before. That he is referring the students back to the other chapters. 23. Asatta ajadya dukkhe dve, asatta ajadya dukkhe dve, maya rupam triyam tridham, maya rupam trayam tridham, asatta narasrungadau, asatta narasrungadau, jadyam kata siladishu, jadyam kata siladishu, is summarizing in this chapter. Asatta, now we have the classification is, one is non-existent, another is mithya. The difference between is there. So in the other acharyas have defined there are only two, either it exists or it doesn't exist. There is nothing in between, chow. So they negate the mithya aspect of the Advaita. It says either you consider it is existing or non-existent, and there is nothing in between. Whereas the Advaita Vedanta talks about it is neither non-existent nor completely continuously existing. It appears to be existing but not really there. So that's called mithya. So here is classifying here asatta. Asatta means never exists any time, and that which has a locus, which has no locus for its existence, and are called asatta, non-existence. And jadyam, jadya dukkha, jadyam is inertness. So now we are classifying, one is completely non-existent, another is inert existent. Inert existence is whole world, like the mud and the stone, etc., that he has given example. Now you can give any example in the whole world that is made up of gross material, and that the galaxies, everything that you can think of, all objective sciences come under that. Objectives, that are the sciences that are analyzing the objects, that all objects, that is, which can be objectified, different from the subject I am, that comes under jadyam. Jadyam means inert. And dukkha, dukkhi, in the miseries of that. Misery means where we are talking about the jiva, and with the thoughts where happy thoughts and unhappy thoughts. Unhappy thoughts come from the rajasic and tamasic. They too, that means the both sat and chit. So idam trayam, in these three, to indeed maya rupam, the nature of maya is narasrungadau asatta. So maya is being expressed in terms of these three. One is the asatta, another is jadyam, another is dukkham. Dukkhe. So these three, as in these three, the maya is getting expressed. So here is giving you example here. Narasrunga adau asatta. So what is the asatta? What is the non-existent things? And he gives an example in the horns of a man. Man doesn't have horns, hopefully. So either the horns of a hare or horns of a man. So narasrunga adau, these are asatta. That means there is no locus for existence of the narasrungas, a horns hare. One can dream. In the dream, you know human being, you know the horns, and you can assemble them and create a narasrunga. But we are not talking about that asatta. Asatta is in the world that we are familiar with, where we have never seen in the past so far, at least in this creation, that so far there are no human beings with the horns. Maybe in the other worlds may be there, in the other galaxies may be there, but here they are not there. So therefore non-existence is established by the absence of the knowledge of its existence any time so far. So therefore we come under asatta. Non-existence is expressed. And the kashta siladishu, kashta is in the wood, firewood, or sila in the stone, etc. is jadyam, inertness is expressed. So he was giving example of asatta, jadyam, and the dukkham are where only the non-existence, another is pure existence, and the second one is existent unconsciousness. All are being, examples are given, and one is narasrunga comes under asatta. Actually the vandhyaprattaha is a better example in that sense, that the son of a barren woman, it's a logical contradiction. Therefore there cannot be anywhere in the world possibility of that existing, whereas in the narasrunga, maybe in the words it may be possible. So asatta, kashta siladishu, so in the wood and stone only jadyam is expressed. So depending on the reflecting medium, we are expressing the same pure existent consciousness. Non-existence, because we are not talking about non-existent Brahman, so we cannot say non-existence is existing. So that is asatta is not of interest. We are only talking about the other aspects only. So we are talking about the jadyam, the inertness that is in the world. Now, whenever there is a subtle body, that is the mind and the intellect, there is a chidabhasa, both the sat and chit are expressed. That's in the next sloka. Ghora modadhiyor dukkham, ghora modadhiyor dukkham, evam maya vijumbita, evam maya vijumbita. Santadi buddhi vruttayaihi, santadi buddhi vruttayaihi, ruddhayaikyat, santadi buddhi vruttayaikyat, Mishram Brahmeti Kirtitam, Mishram Brahmeti Kirtitam, together. Gora Mudadhiyor Dukkham, Evam Maya Vijambhita, Shantadi Buddhi Vruttayaikyat, Mishram Brahmeti Kirtitam. In the Ghora Mudadhiyoho, in the Ghora, that is, we are talking about rajasic thoughts, mudha in the case of tamasic, dhiyoho, in the thoughts, dukkham, misery, evam, in this way, maya vijumbrita, maya is manifested in terms of dukkham in the both the sat and chit aspects in the ghora mudha dhiyoho. Shantadi buddhi vritti aikyat, and shantadi buddhi vritti aikyat syat brahma mishram iti kirtitam. And in the shantadi buddhi vritti, in the case of the thoughts of the sattvic thoughts, aikyat, due to identification with the Brahman, Mishram, conditioned Brahman, iti kirtitam, is said to be. So in the case of the sattvic thoughts, there is a Brahman being reflected completely, so it is more identity with the Brahman than with the Maya. So that's what is discussed in the scriptures. 25. Evam stititrayoho, evam stititrayo brahma, evam stititrayo brahma, jatumichet pumanasau, jatumichet pumanasau, nasrungadimupecheta, nasrungadimupecheta, sistam jayet yathayatam, sistam jayet yathayatam, nasrungadimupecheta, sistam jayet yathayatam. Now he is coming to the meditations and the depending upon the nature of the jiva, depending upon whether he is a evolved being or he is in the madhyama or he is all the way in the lowest category, you have to meditate depending upon your evolution. People live mostly in the rajasic and tamasic levels, and for them it is better to meditate in that level. And those who evolve, sattvic involves knowledge, and the more so in terms of the highest knowledge, that is where about the nature of the reality, that is essentially where they can meditate on something else. So here, depending upon the qualification of the seeker, what to meditate is also being discussed in some form here. So evam sthitau atra. So evam sthitau, this being the case of where you have rajasic and tamasic thoughts, you have mostly the maya vijumbritam, where maya is in the manifesting powerfully, whereas in the sattvic thoughts it is more closer to the association, because complete Brahman aspect of both Sat Chit and Ananda aspects is also coming in, therefore it's closer to the Brahman. And depending upon the nature of the mind, that is of the jiva, evolution of the mind, then one can meditate. So having given this structure, evam sthitau, this being the case, atra, in this world, yaha, whoever he is, brahmadhyatam iched, if he wants to contemplate on the Brahman, given this scenario, if he wants to, I want to think of Brahman, I want to meditate on Brahman, if he has the desire, iched, a desire to meditate on Brahman, so asau praman, such a seeker, so the nusangadi, non-existent things like man's horn, etc., upecheta. So he doesn't have to think about, let me concentrate on the horns of a man. He is not even existent. So let him reject so if you want to contemplate on Brahman, contemplate on the things that are existing, because that's the nature of Brahman, not non-existent. So one has to reject the non-existent aspects as the object of meditation. That's the first. So therefore, upechete. So upecheta. So it should ignore, and system, the remaining Brahman, yadayadam, appropriately one can meditate. So one can reject the non-existent objects for meditation and contemplate on existing things, whether it in terms of the jadavastu or in terms of the subtle material, one can, depending upon the nature of that, yatha, he says, yatha yadam, appropriately, depending upon the nature of the student, one can meditate. What's the nature? He is going to talk about it. 29. Siladau nama rupe dve, Siladau nama rupe dve, Chaktva sanmatra chintanam, Chaktva sanmatra chintanam, Chaktva dukkham ghora mudha dhiyoho, Chaktva dukkham ghora mudha, Chaktva dukkham ghora mudha, Dhiyo satchit vichintanam, Dhiyo satchit vichintanam. Together. Siladau nama rupe dve, Chaktva sanmatra chintanam, Chaktva dukkham ghora mudha, Dhiyoho satchit vichintanam. So, how do I meditate? If you are meditating on the inner things, what should I meditate? Any inner things, you have to meditate on the expression of the Brahman in the inner things. So when I look at the world, even as a jnani, when I look at the world, I have to see in the world, on the inner things, that existence aspect is being expressed in that. So every word is Brahman in that form. So Brahman in this form exists. In the Brahman in that, just as when I look at the ring, I say gold in this form exists. In the bangle, gold in the bangle form exists. Even though I am looking at the ring and the bangle and the necklace are different at the transactional level, my mind will be contemplating on, hey, it is a gold, it's a gold, it's gold, it's a precious. Therefore, it has to be preserved, and it's not a stone or iron or some other material. Therefore, I have a vision of the gold along with the vision of the ring and the bangle. Same way, when I am looking at the world, inner things, I should have the vision of the Brahman in the form of existence. Because of it, it exists. That has to be thought of. Siladau nama rupe dve, in the nama and the rupa dve, Chaktva, giving away, leaving out the name and the form, sanmatram chintanam, existence aspect alone has to be. How do you give away? You have the nama, form is there, but concentrate mentally, cognitively, it's because of Brahman, it is there. It's of Brahman, it is there. So every one that you can think of in the object that you see, it's a Brahman only in this form, in that form, in the form. Both in the things that you like, both in the things you don't like, Brahman is there. So just as a scientist knowing that everything is electron, protons or neutrons, every object he can look at it, he can think of, ignoring the form of the object and the name of the or attributes of the object, concentrate, it is nothing but electron, protons or neutrons packed in this way. Electrons, protons, neutrons packed in the garbage form, electrons, protons, neutrons packed in the form of a delicious food. So transactions are different, at the same time nama rupa is different. So in the Siladau nama rupe dve Chaktva sanmatram chintanam, and Chaktva dukkham ghora mudha dhiyoho, one has to give up the suffering involved in the rajasic and tamasic thoughts and concentrate on the dhiyo satchit vichintanam, the existent and consciousness are expressed in they exist, and I am conscious of this, the ghora and dukkha also, both in the rajasic thoughts and the tamasic thoughts. My attention, meditation is to looking into the satchit aspect of it, ignoring the dukkham aspect of it. If you can do it, that's a meditation. We'll stop here and continue after we come back. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम ओम ओम।